go down to the BBC, you're sure of a big surprise. If you go down to the BBC, you'll never believe your eyes. 'Cause Kenny Everett's going to play a great new single out today. The Idle Race are going to sing it for you.
This is Face the Music, a pre-ELO song-by-song podcast. Episode -030. A Better Life, The Weatherman Knows.
Hush, little baby, don't you cry. Oh, don't you cry. Maybe tomorrow, better life. Oh, if you try.
What's that song all about?
A Better Life, The Weatherman Knows, is the 10th track, 4th song on side 2 of the second album by The Idle Race, recorded at Trident Studios in the UK and released in the second half of 1969. In issue number 7 of ELO fanzine Face the Music in 1990, Gil wrote,
A Better Life is unnervingly close to the kind of stuff found on later ELO albums, particularly Time, an unwitting prediction of things to come, displaying Jeff's already well-advanced talent for melody and arrangements, lyrically indicative of his preoccupation with writing songs about the weather, his favorite element appearing to be rain. This eventually escalated into an obsession serious enough to warrant a complete oeuvre on the wet stuff from the sky, and provided this writer's favorite bit of ELO ever. The great thing about writing rain songs is that it rhymes with absolutely loads of other words.
I never turned my TV set off until after I watched the weather report, and I never cease to marvel at the poise and assurance of the weatherman.
Hi, I'm Eric Winsenson.
And I'm Eric Paul Johnson.
And this is called A Better Life, The Weatherman Knows. But the weatherman doesn't know crap. We had somebody saying tornado watches around here the other day, and it was going to be windy. We're going to get a season's worth of rain, and we got a sprinkle. Weatherman doesn't know crap. Now, what I do know is that at least we're starting this season off with an awesome song. This is one of those songs, I think, that makes your toes curl up and your eyes roll back and the censor bars start appearing on the screen. I really appreciated it because I'm starting to hear Jeff Lynne do some of the little tricks he would do later on with his vocals and everything. It's like he's experimenting here, like where he's really learning what he's going to do in the future. And I am hearing a ton of ELO on this one, basically.
Yeah.
I'm still hearing Idle Race because, yeah, we're still kind of at a bare bones sound in some places, but yeah, that one part where he overlays his vocals on this is a very heavy glimpse into the future. And again, listening to this, like listening to one of the other songs that we did on this album that was very close to sounding like an ELO one, I'm still wondering why he was doing those ticked off old man get off my lawn vocals on the first few albums.
Down at the military.
When he already had this vocal style down, and that he would be doing from El Dorado forward, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But it's already here. I guess, I don't know if he decided it sounded too Beatlesy when he started doing stuff, or that he had to do something that was more aggressive or more Dylan or more prog. No, I think these types of vocals are more prog than what he was doing on the first few albums, VLOs. So, but yeah, I'm surprised this wasn't the closer. This would have been a great closing song for the album.
Well, I'm thinking because I don't have Jeff Lynne here to tell me. Although on Facebook, he did say he wanted to be my friend. And I'd left him the phone number to leave a message. So we're going to see if we're going to hear from Jeff Lynne. And he keeps saying, okay, message me. I say, okay, you just call the voicemail. Here's the voicemail number. So
Why do I have a feeling this is not Jeff Lynne? This might be the one with the G.
Yeah, the one that wrote Travesties of Life's magazine or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did this person also say they really like how attractive you are and how good your writing is and really want to be friends off of Facebook?
Well, he did say that he's a really big fan of mine, so apparently he really enjoys the Fife in my life.
Girl, you are the Fife in my life.
And of course my songs that I did 40-something years ago about how much I hated my junior high.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Sounds legit.
Yeah, sure. It's kind of weird that Jeff Lynne would love Don't Go to Desert Sky.
Don't go to Desert Sky.
But there it is. Okay.
Yeah.
We ended the last season on a bad note. The song we ended with, it was
bad notes.
It was a lot of bad notes, yeah, where it was just the same 2 seconds over and over and over again. And we start this season. I'm glad to hear that you love this song. Glad that we're starting off, well, on a happy note for such a dour song.
I know.
Yeah. Well, I first heard it last week, and I thought, this is kind of dreary and boring. But of course, you all listen to the podcast. You know I go through my routine. I listen to it at least once a day throughout the week, so I've heard it more and more. I liked it more and more. I didn't approach the love for it. I liked it. I don't hate it. I don't think I'd put it on a playlist. But I thought it was okay. Which is kind of frustrating to me. Because there are things that I like about it. I love that piano. It echoey, almost sounds like piano in a room off to the side, with the door open, coming down the hall. I love that. Jeff's voice is dreamy. It moves along at a nice pace. It does not drag, unlike, say, some other song on this album that...
We've gone over that.
Yeah, we've gone over that a lot, yeah. It was dreary, but it wasn't dreary like Reminds Me of You. The person in the song, at least they're not a ballless whiner like the person in Reminds Me of You. I was getting an ELO vibe from this. It sounded Electric Light Orchestra 2-y to me. The second ELO album, not the Bev Bevan sequel band. And there's something about it that kind of reminded me of Mama. I'm sure it was the vocal delivery and just, I'm going to say the recording sound quality, Jeff's voice, and a somber song, which really there was only one somber song on Electric Light Orchestra 2, and that was Mama. So that's why I picked up a Mama vibe. I picked up hints of Smile a Little Smile for Me by the Flying Machines.
Smile a little smile for me, Rosemary. Where's the use in crying?
And I'm not saying he lifted chunks of the song from that Flying Machine song, which would be pretty much impossible because they both came out about the same time. If this Idle Race album came out in September 1969, we still don't know exactly when it came out, but still. There are parts of the piano and the Flying Machine keyboard that they did sort of the same thing.
Hush, little baby, don't you cry. Oh, don't you cry. Except this time he's gone for good.
There were just bits and pieces of that song that made me think of that song. I like it. I don't love it, but I like it. If we're going to have a dreary song, this is a good dreary song to have, as opposed to other dreary songs that we've run into. Your Friend, for instance.
Did your friend tell you that I called today?
So, no censor bars.
For me, no.
Okay. I don't know. Music just seems to hit me differently than it does you. I kind of thought you were going to get into your little dreamy zone here a bit more with this one, because it sounded kind of like a lot of the ELO songs that you really go for.
Yeah.
But I guess the bare bones part of it probably still takes a little bit of away from you. This doesn't have a big, huge string production on it like the other one on the album did.
And maybe that's it. As of recording this anyway, the most recent episode of What Does Madeline Think, we talk about Don't Walk Away. And I talk about the instrumental version where you really hear the strings, and that sends me into a total eargasm. Although I didn't say eargasm with Madeline in that episode. But yeah, this is pretty bare bones. But there are bare bones songs that I like. So, I mean, that's kind of a frustrating thing for me. I'm thinking to myself, I should love this song. Why don't I love this song?
Is it because maybe you've heard this so many times? Or, I mean, heard not the song, but just heard, at this point you've heard his style so much that you have a certain like for certain things that he did, and then...
I mean, that could be it. I try to go into every song with an open mind. Even the ones that, when I first hear them, I'm like, ugh, this is terrible. And hoping that, well, maybe it'll get better. Or maybe I'll like it better. And yeah, I did like it better, but I never approached the love. I hit the like, but not love.
So the song has been friend-zoned.
It's been friend-zoned, yeah.
It's been friend-zoned.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've had it done to me so many times, but so I feel kind of bad for doing it to this song. Lyrically, there are things to be said about this lyrically. Jeff Lynne is moving away from what he's been doing with the Idol Race, which is weird stories about weird people going through weird things in weird little songs. This is pretty much kind of a standard sad girl song or heartbreak breakup song. Also, lyrically, this could be the start of what critics have called Jeff Lynne just rhyming to rhyme. June, tune, jadoon, whatever he can find words to rhyme to fill the space. There's a part in here that goes, oh, on the window pane, down in the valley, up in the alley, oh, it's pouring rain. So pane, valley, alley, rain. And then just Jeff stops rhyming. There's another verse in here, early in the morning, while the sun is still yawning. Oh, it smiles on you. Maybe today, a better life. Oh, if we try. So it's morning, yawning, you, life, try. None of that rhymes. It's sort of like Jeff Lynne busted all the rhymes that he wanted to bust in that Rain Valley verse, and then he just said, oh, hell with it. I got a story to tell here. I don't care if it rhymes or not. I'm the songwriter. This is what I'm saying. And that's fine. I don't have a problem with it. I'm just pointing it out because the bulk of songs lyrically are all based on a rhyming scheme. And it just seems like Jeff Lynne had one verse that rhymed, and all the other verses were just close enough. Or even just, I don't care. I'm done rhyming for the day.
Well, he does Heartbreak well.
Yes.
I mean, Telephone Line isn't exactly the happiest song. I mean, she's not going to answer.
Yeah. Don't Walk Away is heartbreaking, too. God,
yeah.
Jesus, I adore that song. There are lots of heartbreaking Jeff Lynne songs that I adore. This one, I liked. I will say this for this song. I'm really glad Jeff Lynne doesn't sing like he's falling ass first down a flight of stairs.
Got something to say about A Better Life? The weatherman knows. Well, call the telephone line voicemail.
623-850-3375. Call now. Stormy weather.
Before we go on with it,
Let's have a little breaky. Let's have a little breaky poo. We'll be back in just a sec.
Shannon is the sister of a friend I've had since 1977, and she's been near deaf her whole life. But here in the future, that can be fixed with cochlear implants. However, that costs $40,000. You can kick in whatever money you can at her GoFundMe page, Help Shannon Hear the World Again. Because everybody should be able to hear the Electric Light Orchestra.
Back to the podcast.
Great moments in pre-ELO history.
That's how I learned all my little sounds was on the B&O tape recorder, the Bang & Olufsen 120 guineas. That was 1968 when I got that.
Really?
Oh, that was a beautiful thing, yeah. It had echo built in it. Really? Like, I've still got it. They've just sent it me back. It's never busted ever. Never broke down once. it was such a great thing. And I was playing in the Idle Race, a group called the Idle Race at the time.
Yeah.
So I paid it off in no time, really. It was fabulous, and you could do the best phasing of all time.
Yeah. But how did you know to do that?
Well, I knew how they did it by one signal just slightly behind the other, just slightly out with the other. And the things it did, it used to, in stereo, then you'd play it back in stereo after you'd phased one, 2 mono ones, play it back in stereo, and the vocal would actually zoom from left to right in your head as it phased. Oh, it was just superb. I used to just go, wow, it's the best thing I've ever heard.
Face the Music, a pre-ELO song-by-song podcast, is a production of Radio Trolla Entertainment Assorted Deli Meats Amalgamated. You can contact us by voicemail at 623-850-3375 or email us at eloftmpodcast@gmail.com, and we'll read and reply to it on the show. Keep up to date by joining our Facebook group and spread the word by sharing the link or giving us a quick rating on iTunes. Subscribe to our YouTube page, the Electric Light Orchestra Podcast channel, to hear other goodies. You can financially support the podcast at patreon.com/ELOpod or PayPal using the podcast's email address, or send a check or money order to P.O. Box 1932, Superior, Arizona 85173. Next episode, -029. Hurry up, John.